That's good.
I was telling Vicki today that, as I have said before, I wanted to make a quilt for each one of my grandchildren before I died. So I said Gina was next in line, and then John. So for her to think about what she wants, so we could get Liz to do Gina's next. And I'm just very, very desirous of making each one of my grandchildren a quilt. And doing genealogy work. Want to get that. But I might tell you what started this trip around the world, and I think it's very interesting. Gina and Vic were in Salt Lake one time, and they went to the Mormon Handicraft, looking at the quilts, and this one kind of pleased, well, not this one, but the one that they bought one, that really pleased them. And then when I came over, they were showing me this quilt. I said how they'd like to have a king size for their bed. I said, okay, let's get busy and make it. So we made them a king size quilt like this. And we all liked it so well, we really truly didn't know the name of it at that time, but then when I was talking to my niece Bernadine Peters, she said, well, Aunt Marie, that's Trip Around the World. So then the quilt really has much more of a meaning.
Mm-hmm.
So we're quite happy about it.
Who is this quilt for?
Well, this one happens to be for Nana. I still can't see why, because I don't feel that I'm young enough to need a beautiful quilt like this, but Art and Vicki both thinks that I should have one to enjoy, so I'm just going to really accept it with a lot of joy and really going to enjoy it.
That's good.
But I think it's so pretty, I'm going to tickle to death with it. And I'm so glad we all had a hand, you know. Oh, and I might say too that, by the way, I hope that's still in the sewing room. John had made the initials so I could identify the quilt. So real pleased about that, so I can put my insignia on it.
Why don't you show us how you stitch? Just show us some pointers so that if you could pass on all your techniques in less than 2 minutes.
I don't quite follow.
Do some sewing.
Show your technique for sewing.
For quilting.
For doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you have to have a long single thread, and you just kind of go follow the pattern of whatever type of quilt you're doing. This one happens to be straight, so we go in a straight line. So we go like this, take as little stitches as we can. And I had a grandmother that made quilts for a living after Grandpa died, and she used to make the most beautiful stitches, and I try to make them like her all the time, but I can't because I just can't quite make them small enough. My mother used to say, oh.
Hi.
Well, hi. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, what are you working on?
That's just what I kind of thought you'd be up to.
Would you mind telling us the significance of what you're doing?
Would I mind showing you what?
The significance of what you're doing.
The significance of what I'm doing. Well, what shall I say? You see how we started here with the center one? Gone around this way, gone around the world with one pattern, and then around the world with another pattern, and another pattern, and this is called the round of the world. Finally we came back over here and we have another row of the pink one all the way around. So it's called the round the world quilt.
And when did you start this?
Well, we started about last Sunday, which is a week ago. Started throwing the blocks together. When we got here, why they had the blocks all cut out on the table over there, Jean and Vicki. And John and I arrived from Stockton, and they surprised us with these all cut out. So here we get together, started to sew, and all of us sewed, even to John. He was the bestest little sewer that there was. We all got quite a thrill out of watching him sew and putting the blocks together and everything.
And what time of year is it?
Well, it happens to be January 1990. First of another era.
And how old are you?
Oh, I'm getting way up there. 78. Too old.
That's not
I
old.
want to be young again.
You wish you could be this young when you see this.
You think so?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'd sure like to be a lot younger and know a little bit more than what I know now.
You got at least 6 years left, probably 10.
Oh, you think really think so?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On average, that's...
I would say approximately 2.
Oh,
You think it'd be longer than that?
you're nowhere near 2 years away from death.
Oh.
I know.
Sometime, well, I hope you're right, because I have a lot I want to accomplish. A lot of
How many
things.
quilts have you made before?
Well, I think Jean asked me that very question, and I don't really have any idea. I mean, art. It's hard for me to say art. Put your toe in that stitch. But I don't think I would ever get them in quite like that. But it's really fun. I just thoroughly enjoy doing quilts. I think it's such a thrill. And before too long now, you can probably get a picture of turning if you want to wait till I get down to the end here. We'll be ready to turn once again, get a picture of that and see how we turn the quilts. Well, sorry about that, I lost my needle.
Do you have to pull it through every time?
Uh-huh. It goes down under.
Do you feel it go through the material with your other hand?
Sometimes you prick your fingers, yes.
So your other hand's on the other side, right?
You keep your hand underneath here like this. This hand underneath here. Keep your fingers where you can feel the needle coming through. And kind of guide it with the fingers underneath and then with your thumb. And then push with your thimble. I take about 2 stitches at a time and then pull them through. Sometimes if you quilt it for quite a while, then you kind of prick your fingers on the other side and it kind of gets sore, so you have to watch then that you don't get any blood stains on your quilt.
Let's see your other finger. Put it right there where the stitch is, where the thread is.
Do what?
Hold it out.
This?
Hold your finger out. The one that gets stuck.
When it gets stuck?
Yeah.
Well, these are the ones that get stuck when they're feeling the needle coming through the cloth.
Well, show me real close.
Well, I haven't pricked any.
You haven't pricked them yet?
No. No, we had tape put around them until we went away today, so I took the tape off. But if you want to hold it before too long, we'll be turning it, and then you can watch that. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you take a little long stitch, you can kind of take a little back stitch that will kind of shorten it up a little bit and make it look better. But sometimes I just pull them out and start over again. But I surely am appreciative of this quilt. I think it's so pretty, and I'm really going to enjoy it.